So I said I was going to be more present with sharing about building the channel as I'm building this channel. So the last time I talked about just basically monetizing TikTok and YouTube as well. Because right now, like I said, those are the only two platforms that I'm using. But today I wanted to talk about 7 ways to just be more relatable. Because if people feel like they can relate to you, they will follow you. They will subscribe to your channel. They will engage with you. If you're not relatable, and it has nothing to do with price range. You can be a Lux blogger. You can be, a gaming blogger. You can have a channel on YouTube that's about, a job search. Literally anything that you do, you can find people who relate to you, who feel like, she's speaking my language, and follow you and connect with you and engage. And that's what you want. A lot of times we come with our preconceived notions. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't know what your channel or your TikTok channel is going to be about. But as you are moving and flowing, and this is a case in point. So I posted something on TikTok and people posted questions. They were like, could you share a little more about this? Could you share that? And that gave me more content ideas to create for the people who are actually not just following, but engaging too. So let's talk about 7 things. I have 7 things here that you're going to want to start doing and make sure that you're doing to be more relatable on social media. And I'm not talking about fake, I'm talking about being the real you. And that's number one. That's tip number one. Be the real you, because a lot of times when we watch other people's stuff and we see they have thousands of likes and shares and all of that stuff, we have a tendency to kind of lean to want to be like them, thinking we're going to get the results that they got, but they're being who they are. So you have to be who you are and the people will come. That entails, if you're launching a product, give them a sneak peek, a behind the scenes, right? Show them a day in your life, show them your morning routine. All of that matters. And it doesn't even really matter what your subject matter is about. People just want to know a little more about you. So a lot of times, when I'm on this channel, I'm doing unboxings and all of that stuff. But by the same token, I also don't always come on my channel with makeup. I do my makeup. They see me do my skincare routine. They see me sipping my coffee, and I talk about my favorite mugs. So to them, they feel like they have like the inside track, right? They're not just seeing the polished me, they're seeing what it takes to put me all together. And when you share who you really are, you're going to have people who appreciate that, and those are going to become your loyal followers. And I know a lot of times when people are struggling to grow their channel and, they have under 100 subscribers, or you're on TikTok and you only have a few, you want to know, well, when are those numbers going to come? Keep being you. Keep being you. Once you start speaking the language of people who can relate to you, they're going to share it, they're going to comment, and they're going to tell their friends about it too, right? You let them see. And if you've been on this channel any amount of time, sometimes I'm trying to get a point across and I talk so fast and I'm rushing and stumbling over my words sometimes, and I have to make a conscious effort to slow down. So there's nothing wrong with allowing people who are connected to you on these social media platforms to see your quirks, the idiosyncrasies, the flaws, whatever the case may be. Just be you, right? Because here's the thing, and this goes back to what I'm saying before, and not trying to beat a dead horse, but when you're just sharing banners, 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 people are not seeing you. They're seeing the words, but they want to see the person behind the words. So to build trust, you have to share. People have to feel like they can relate to you. They have to feel like, okay, I'm not picking up crook vibes. I'm not picking up scam vibes. You want them to know that you are real. Okay? So that's what you want to do. Number two, don't just post. A lot of times people get caught up with all these gurus who are like, oh, you got to post this many times a day, that many times a day. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you can tell when someone just recorded something just to throw it on YouTube, just to throw it on TikTok. And it's like, what is that about? That's not quirkiness. That's rushing and not really giving any value to the people who took a minute to follow you. So that's what you want to make sure that you are doing. Going forward, start sharing stories, right? Not just facts. So for instance, if I was talking about making money online, if I was talking about creating streams of income, I'm not just going to say, here are the facts, here's how you create streams of incomes. I'm going to give you my story. I'm going to give you my how I did it, where I started, and how it's going for me. Case in point, on TikTok, like I said, I'm in the Creator Rewards program. Every month, I'm seeing those numbers going up monetarily. Same thing on TikTok Shop. I started out not even knowing how to promote a product, and now, I'm getting the hang of it, and those numbers are going up too. So, eventually I'm going to show you all the behind the scenes, the screenshots, the numbers, and all of that. But give your followers something to relate to. Give them the story. Give them the backstory. Give them the behind the scenes sneak peek. So show the real you, number one. Number two, share stories, not just post. Don't post it and forget it. Engage with people as you're doing that. Okay? Engage with them as you're doing that, because they want to feel a part of what you're doing. That's the bottom line. Okay? And that's number three. Engage the people who follow you, right? A lot of times I see people miss big opportunities to engage with people. There are times when I've gotten lots of comments on my posts, especially on TikTok, not so much on YouTube yet, but I get lots of comments, and I try to engage each and every single comment. Why? Because I want them to know that they're important to me. I want them to know, look, I see you, right? I see you, and I appreciate you being here. Sometimes it's a heart, sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes I comment and reply and point them to my freebie. But one thing you don't want to do, don't just click like. Don't just, I liked your comment. I liked your comment. That's cool, but you have to be willing to go the extra mile, especially if you want them to go the extra mile. There are times when I've done that. I've come back with a comment, or download my freebie, download my printable, grab my $7 ebook, and it's been like amazing that if they weren't following me, because of my comment back to them, they decided to follow me. Sometimes they're thinking, and I think this way, so other people might think that way too. You're thinking the person I'm following or engaging with is real. They didn't just post this to move on to the next post or what they're going to post the next day, but they're engaging in the moment, in the content, in the comments, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, you want to show them that. Engage like a friend, engage like you care about their comment and what they're going through. On TikTok especially, I post about relationships. And there was a woman who was like, well, I don't believe that, I'm good enough to be in a relationship. I've just been through so much. I don't even want to go through that anymore. So imagine if I would have just clicked like, just for the sake of going down the list and clicking like. I didn't do that. I did like it, but I engaged her and let her know that she was worthy, and my thoughtfulness prompted a response to my response to her, and she started following me. And not only that, that engagement, that back and forth engagement counts as views, and it also triggers the algorithm to know, listen, this is some good stuff here. It's resonating with a lot of people who are seeing it. So you want to make sure that you engage like a friend, show genuine interest, and be you, right? Don't come off as fake, but just be you. Also, number 4, and this is just 7. This is just 7 off the top of my head that I'm sharing. But number 4, use humor and personality. So if you're not a funny hee hee ha ha person, then you don't have to turn around and try and make jokes about everything just to get engagement. But there are other aspects of your personality that can shine through in what you're doing, right? Even when you're making content, there are times that I'm talking about something serious, and then I'll open my eyes wide and I'm like, listen, and that's just a part of my personality, because ultimately, whatever I'm sharing, I want people to get it. I want them to take away the nuggets so that they can start putting them to use and reach their goal, hit that number, whatever it is, whether it's subscribers, whether it's followers, whether it's monetization, whether it's getting those checks in the mail or those deposits to your bank account from these social media platforms. I want the people who engage my content to be able to do that. Okay. Yeah, it comes across when you do that kind of stuff, when you add your personality, it comes across just more genuine as opposed to salesy. Because sometimes people are like, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. It's like, listen, people might love you and follow you, but there are ways to get people to make purchases without sounding like a broken record. Buy my book, buy my book. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Engage like a friend, number 3. And number 4, use your humor and your personality. It's just so important, because you want people to stay around. Just like they hit the follow button, just like they hit the subscribe button, they can hit the unfollow and the unsubscribe button too. You don't want them to do that. So you have to learn how to engage your audience. And I tell people all the time, if you are selling anything, you must learn how to build your platform, grow your platform. You have to see what works. If you're posting stuff that's getting little or no engagement, you might think it's good content, but your viewers are telling you it's really not. So whatever it is that they like, whatever it is that you post and you get a lot of feedback from it, that's telling you that that's the kind of stuff that your followers or your subscribers want. Do more of that and less of the other stuff. So many times we come to content creation in a way that's just like, well, I want to get my point across. Yeah, but you can package it in a way that your viewers like better. And we have to start leaning towards that if we want to grow. Yeah. Number 5, you have to speak their language. You have to know your audience. So that means you should be paying attention to the comments that you're getting a lot. Are you getting comments from people who want you to delve deeper and explain further, And if so, then that's telling you that even with comments, so like what I'm doing here, these 7 points, if people resonate with this, which I'm hoping that you will, that's telling me that I can probably take each bullet point that I'm sharing with you and do an entire video, do an entire YouTube on just that one alone. And instead of doing one long video like this on TikTok, I would have 7 videos. I talk about each thing and delve into it a little deeper so that they have a more clearer and concise understanding of it. So we have to know, speak their language. Do they like challenges? Do they like when you create goals like follower goals, subscriber goals? Do they get excited about that kind of thing? You have to pick up on these things so that you know what to offer them. So if you're doing a challenge, right, on TikTok, on YouTube, and you're not getting anybody doing the challenge along with you, then that's telling you your audience is not really into challenges. Try something else. So that means you have to be paying attention to what they're like, what they like, what they're about, what resonates with them, and you want to make it friendly and not come across like, a PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Number 6, show the process, not just the results. So I talked about that a little earlier. If you're launching products or books, or if I'm styling a look or doing something creative, I can show them the end result. But showing them the process is even better. Like right now, what I'm teaching right now, I'm actually putting into a course, not this video, but videos like it, right? For people to grow their platform, understand the social media platforms, and to see which ones work best for them. Now, like I said before, right now I'm rocking with TikTok and I'm rocking with YouTube, right? And on TikTok, I get all of these notifications. So-and-so added you on Lemonade. I'm not going on another platform. And that's the mistake that so many people make. Just because a new platform comes out doesn't mean you have to hop on it, right? So many times people want to reach these great heights on these platforms when they haven't even mastered the ones they're on. So if you can't get the hang of YouTube, if you can't get the hang of TikTok, why are you going on Lemonade and all these other platforms? So there's a learning curve for each one. So now you have to go in this direction and that direction. And when you have your hands in so many pots, you're not building the foundation for your brand, your business, or whatever you have the way you really should, because it's watered down on all these different things. That's why I pull back from Instagram. That's why I pull back from Facebook. And you have to understand which work best for you. And it's not always what's new and what's popular. Sometimes once you find your audience, you find your tribe, you find your people, you stay where you found your tribe and your people, and you keep growing that. Okay? So the behind the scenes is just very important. And lastly, number 7, be consistent with value and vulnerability. So there are times that I've come on here and I've talked about, my weight loss journey. I've talked about health issues. I've talked about losing my mom. I've talked about so many different things. I just talked about so many different things, and that's the vulnerable side. You can be a teacher, you can be a coach, you can be whatever you want to be, but by the same token, your vulnerability helps people trust you. It helps them, just kind of gravitate towards you, especially if they need what you're offering, if they need what you're able to help them fix or see, right? Consistency, and I say this all the time, consistency. I can't tell you how many times people get frustrated with a social media platform and then they say, taking a break, I'll be back, deuces. Like, you're taking a break and the algorithm is going to think that you just abandoned the platform. So now when you come back, you're going to have to do double work to play catch up to where you would have been if you never took a break. For me, the goal is to just streamline your feed. So whether it's on YouTube, there are ways that you can click and say, don't recommend channels. The same thing with TikTok. If you're on that platform too, you can click and say, not interested, and hit the submit button, and it'll stop showing you that. It is better to streamline your social media platforms than pull back from it because you feel overwhelmed. And even more than that, if you're frustrated because you really don't understand with it, reach out to a coach. I have one-on-one sessions and can help you break through some of that stuff. So if you want to do a coaching session with me, drop a comment and I will respond with the link. I only take maybe 2 to 3 clients every month only because I don't want to overwhelm myself. I'm still creating content and I need my downtime to be able to process and come up with ideas. So, you want your followers, all in all, in a nutshell, what I'm saying, you want your followers to see you as relatable, just like them, and having value where you can teach them something. So I hope this helped. If you have not watched my other videos in the bankable, my bankable income, see, I just did it again. I could have edited out that little flub, but I didn't. I'm real, I'm human, I make mistakes. Sometimes I talk too fast, but if you have not watched the other videos in my bankable income playlist, go ahead and watch now. But I'm here for all the fashion stuff too. I'm here for all the fashion stuff too. So go ahead, check out my unboxings, and I will see you next time. And if you're not following me, follow me on TikTok, Miss Princess Dom. Dom Taraj also has a TikTok, domtaraj.com on TikTok. So do that. I'll be back with more. And if this helped you even a little bit, go ahead and drop me a comment and let me know that too. See you next time.